All right, round 2, we have the choice again. And we got ourselves a nice little keep here. Both colors, 2-drop, irrelevant, some couple relevant 4-drops. All right. Let's take a guess. We're going to guess our opponent is playing black-white. Looks like I was wrong. All right. Guess I can theoretically play a bushwhacker next turn. Probably do, unless, of course, I rip a land. Hey, another blue-red deck. That's where all our 2-drops went. Ooh. Well, I guess we go on to the old 4-drops, huh? Let's go Vestige, Mauve, Kozilek, I think. Could go straight up Flyer, I guess. I have no need for exiling the top card of his library. Yeah, I think we're actually going to go Maw. My thinking is if I draw another land, I can... What can I do? I guess I can play a 4-drop and attack. That's where those slip-through spaces went. Can't be blocked is can't be blocked. Mobilizer Eldrazi. Well, doesn't technically have the mana yet for that. Kindi Slide Runner. So I only have 1 red. I think I just swing with Maw and play Thought Harvester. He can't Clutch of Currents for full value next turn, so seems like at this point, let's just make the best use of mana. I want to get a little bit more of a board presence before I leave up Sweep Away. Although I could bash for 4 here and Sweep Away, but it doesn't quite seem necessary just yet. Plus, if I draw another land, I want to be able to go Slide Runner Avenger. I feel like that's a nice turn progression. Or a nice spell progression, rather. Could also just go Slide Runner, leave up Sweep Away if I rip another land, which is not a bad option either. Or even Slide Runner Bushwhacker if I rip another mountain. Which is quite a bit of damage, especially since it gives this haste. That might actually be my best option. All right. Technically can sweep away my Maw of Kozilek to get rid of the containment membrane. Not sure I want to do that, though. Ooh, Thought Knot here is pretty good, so we're going to cast that. Got rid of a Reality Hemorrhage. I guess that's nice, too. Okay. So, Slip Through Space, Rush of Ice, Gravity Negator. Not the Gravity Negator. Slip Through Space lets him push through and draw. Rush of Ice lets him tap down and get a 3/3. I guess the Slip Through Space is probably the least scary. he rips a land. He gets to go land, make a 3/3. Kind of feel like I probably need to leave back the Thought Harvester because of that. So I guess we ditch the Rush of Ice. And we're not going to swing with the Harvester here. I've got quite a bit of action in hand, so I think it makes more sense to chill out a little bit. He's going to be able to slip through space, but... Well, that was a nice top deck. All right, spawning bed. Guess I can slide runner and sweep away. Feels like the correct play here. We just want to prolong this game as much as possible here. And we can actually, I guess, sweep away in response to the slip through space. It will, I feel like, essentially do the same thing as if I let it resolve, he gets the card off the top of his deck, right? If I bounce now, he can just replay Entangler, but he doesn't get to draw. I think we just bounce now. Let's not let him draw. If he gets the land, he can play the Negator, but he won't be able to play both. Get rid of the Immobilizer Eldrazi, I think. So I guess we swing with Thought Harvester. We know his last card's Negator, but he has another card too, but that's okay. We're just going to attack with Thought Harvester. I think at this point we do need to push some damage through. Play the Avenger. Okay. It's tolerable. So I got the land, which means I can theoretically go Bushwhacker into Avenger, but it doesn't really make sense. So I guess we just go swing with Dwar Isle Avenger. He can give something flying with the Scion. We're going to have to be conscious of that, but I think we're still okay here. So he's at 13. I could theoretically, if I cast 2 spells in one turn, push through enough with Bushwhacker. Gator number 2, okay. Ooh. That's pretty good. I can do both. It's probably in my best interest, right? How much damage is that? Let's say I brute strength a Thought-Knot Seer. So it's got trample and all that good stuff. And then let's say I bushwhack and I swing. So 7 power, 11, 15, 18, 20 damage. Can he, if he blocks a Bushwhacker with a Negator, and he blocks a 4-power guy with another Negator, he's already stopped 6 damage. How much should I say total again? I have to do the math correct here. 3. Oh, this becomes 8, actually, so that's huge. 8, 11, plus 4, 15, 19, 21 points of damage. Let's say he blocks that. That becomes 19 points of damage. Let's say he blocks this. That prevents another 4 points of damage. So that becomes 15 points of damage, which means he does have to block one more thing. Let's say he blocks... Could actually be 22 points of damage with the Hedron Crawler as well. Might be in my best interest to just do that. So Brute Strength, Thought-Knot Seer, Bushwhack, attack with everything. And he does have to do some kind of shady blocks, I guess. Alternatively, I could play it safe by just... He does have to... Let's say... So I got it down to 15 points of damage. Let's say he blocks the Scion. The Scion can't prevent enough damage, though. That only can prevent 14. So I think he does have to do some bad blocks here. I think we're going to go for it. Let's say block. Let's say he blocks here, here. That's too much. I think I got to go all in. I don't think his blocks are great here. I might be wrong, but I don't think that they're great. He has to block at least like... Doesn't he have to block like 4 things? The thing that's throwing me off is this has trample. So the fact that this has trample kind of throws everything off a little bit. He's going to like be able to live with something, but I don't think he's going to have enough to crack back. Like, just in these flyers alone, he's taking a lot. Still taking lethal. Still taking lethal. Still taking lethal, right? 4, 8, 11, 12. He's still taking lethal. This was a complicated, this is a complicated mathematical attack. Like, he's going to take some time, you know, he gets to tank and sort of map out his blocks, but from the couple minutes I took thinking about it, I really don't think his blocks are great here. I know for certain they're not great. Like, he can't just put his negators in front of our little dudes and hope that does anything. And the rest of his guys are so little that he really can't do super profitable stuff here. Man, that was a hyper explosive attack for us there. Was I supposed to leave back the crawler? I guess so, since I'm dead now, right? Or am I? I guess he's one short. Wow. Guess I should have left the crawler back. I mean, we won, but really doesn't get much closer than that, does it? So we're playing against the same deck, which is surprising because I really think this archetype is very unpopular, mostly because it's not a particularly good one. But we both robbed each other of kind of key cards, since I would have much preferred to play Slip Through Space than Expedite, although I ended up running neither. I got the Jory in, so I stole that from him. He stole some cheap creatures from us like Stonewaker and Entangler, so we really sort of hamstrung each other's decks, I would say. Boiling Earth seems insane, by the way. Oh my god. Boiling Earth, what did we say? We saw Entangler, Bushwhacker, Stonewaker. Yeah. Boiling Earth's in. I almost want to bring in Nursery, but that's greedy, so we're not going to. So I can cut a Brute Strength, although I could cut a Membrane as well. Could cut a creature. Like Predator. I kind of like Brute Strength. I mean, it let us push through a bunch of damage there. I'm still trying to think, if I hadn't attacked with the Crawler, would it have changed his blocks at all? Because he ended up at 2 life. I'm not sure. Maybe, I mean, we're lucky we didn't lose, I guess. If he'd gone like Expedite Brute Strength, we definitely would have died. Do I want to cut like a Avenger or something? Or maybe even a Free Runner. Free Runner seems a little bad, but it lets you Surge, which is good with Jory in. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can just cut a Brute Strength, but then that makes Free Runner worse. But I do want a lot of creatures. I just don't like having these creatures that are kind of low toughness. Especially since he has like Rush of Ice. I don't want to cut Membrane. I could cut the Brute Strength, I guess, but it's the combat trick I kind of like. And I feel like we can afford to cut a creature right now. Kind of want to cut the Free Runner. I'm going to cut the Free Runner. I don't know if that's right. I just feel like slightly lowering the curve, but keeping a combat trick just in case. Also, it's kind of a cheap enabler. It's a good hand. Kind of like that we get to go Crawler into Drone. Theoretically into Thought-Knot Seer turn 3, which would be pretty insane. Storm Chaser Mage, so opponent did definitely steal some creatures we wanted. But like I said, we stole the Jorian, so we really ended up screwing each other over pretty good here. We're going to play the Crawler. Just the chance at turn 3 Thought-Knots here is a little too good to pass up on, I think. Okay, 3 mana, 2/3 I can live with. Does make his Awaken spells better. Didn't hit the land, which could end up hurting. But I guess we just jammed the Geopede, because I'd rather trade the Geopede for the Tidecaller, I think. There's the assault. So that's going to be able to clear some stuff out. But if we rip a land here, we're really good, actually. I still don't think assault's particularly good, but I mean, it's good if I'm getting land screwed. All right, let's definitely Thought Not Seer here before he kills our crawler. All right, very good. So now we just don't care about Pyromancer's Assault. I think we're going to swing. No, I guess we don't. Not with Brute Strength. Now he kind of has to sandbag spells, too. And if I draw a red mana, I get to go Brute Strength Bushwhacker again. Which is pretty good. Well, I did get a land, but I guess it had to be a red one. So it's landfall. Alright, just go Nettle Drone. Alright, well, if he could have activated Assault, he would have. So he can't. Red mana would be ideal. Dryl Avenger is still good. Still really good, actually. So we swing with all three. He makes the trade. He blocks the Nettle Drone. Brute Strength's not going to work there. So I guess we just swing with the Thought Not Seer, Brute Strength plus Dryl Avenger. I guess we don't even have to Brute Strength. Then we can just go... could just go Slide Runner, Dryl Avenger. He's got to be pretty tempted to double block here, too. I could have offered the... I basically didn't want to force the Brute Strength. Because, I mean, he loses everything now, takes trample damage, and we follow up with Avenger. All right. So it looks like he's going to get his one activation off Pyromancer's Ascension. Or Assault, rather. And he is going to get to draw a card from killing the Thought Not Seer. Still don't think Pyromancer's Assault's that good, but I do have to beat it first. Otherwise, I'm going to eat those words. I mean, opponent really can't attack here, can he? He's got to have a good play if he's going to attack. And we are just a red mana away from just dealing a bajillion damage. Especially if I just go Predator mana Bushwhacker. That's just insane. Yeah. This is just busted good. got there. Glad we could beat the mirror, and we beat Pyromancer's Assault. I was really going to eat my words if we ended up losing to the Pyromancer's Assault after I said I really didn't like the card, but I'm glad that I could prove that. I mean, my opponent mulliganed, which is yet another reason why Pyromancer's Assault's going to suck. Anytime you're mulliganing, your deck's weakened, and that goes for Surge especially. But when your deck is reliant on playing a 4-mana enchantment that's going to ping stuff away, he even has like a great, like, Pyromancer's Assault is very powerful against our deck in particular because we tend to have a lot of, like, 2 or less toughness guys in here. But even in those circumstances where this is a good card against us and he's got obviously has the deck fine-tuned to play Pyromancer's Assault, you still end up getting screwed with just having to mulligan and maybe drawing 1 or 2 too many lands. So it's sad that Pyromancer's Assault kind of ended up just not being good enough, but got there, made it to the finals. We'll see you then.